Okay, we're live. Okay, so, all right. Anyways, so you're from Texas and you're in Austin right now. I love Austin. We were just chatting about how I wanted to move there someday. My brother and sister-in-law, we get along with them. They have a little baby, and so do we. So it's kind of a fun spot. But
yeah, it's like a gym. It's definitely its own little bubble in Texas for sure. Yes. It's great.
Okay, well, it looks like we have a couple people on, so I'm going to get us started. My name is Casey Morgan. I'm the social media manager here at iTOVi, and I have the fabulous Megan McCurry on today, and I think we have a little friend with us today, too.
She is my dog, Bella. She just heard something, so she's a very quiet dog until she hears something. She's real protective, so I'm very sorry about that. She'll
We love dogs. And we're just going to talk about her experience growing her business, her oil business. And but before we get into that, I wanted to mention our month-long giveaway that we have with the Modern Oil Co. What we're doing is really cool. She's going to be giving away $150 worth of product. And you guys basically get to choose what you want. She has the cutest sweatshirts and t-shirts. And I specifically love this mug, Valor Vibes. So if you guys want to be able to win this, make sure you tag the Modern Oil Co. and a friend that would want to drink her coffee or tea or whatever beverage of choice you would want it out of that mug, and you guys can win, but you can only win if you comment on all of our Facebook Lives for the month of August. So if you didn't comment on last week's, make sure you do that and watch us every Thursday at 3 p.m. Mountain Time. So like I said, I have Megan McCurry on with us today. She is one of Young Living's Gold members and also one of iTOVi's influencers. If you haven't checked out her Facebook or Instagram page, make sure you do that so that you get her wellness tips, her makeup application tips, her business tips, and so much more. She's really fun to watch. She has helped over 2,500 families and counting, and she's with us today to talk about her business and how she's been able to grow it over the past few years. So, Megan, without further ado, tell us a little bit about yourself, how you got into oils, and we just want to hear all about it.
Okay. So again, Megan McCurry, and I live in Austin, Texas, like she said. It's great here. So I came to start using oils back in the fall of 2014. So I actually lived in New York City, which is like totally different than Texas, for 4 years. And this is part of my story, but I had just had bouts of emotional trauma and just from the city. It really wore me thin. And so I moved back to Texas and was just really kind of pushing the reset button. And I came across some people kind of online using oils, and it's kind of back when I guess more people were talking about them and the popularity of them was growing more than it had. And so I was like, I need these. I need that emotional support. So I bought a starter kit, and at the time I wasn't working, and I knew like I might want to also do this business. So we'll just try. So I did, kind of jumped all in. And then when I tried the oils and they were helping me sleep and really calm down, I was like, well, they have other uses too. They can clean. There were so many different uses, like digestive support, all the things. And so I was like, wow, this is amazing. And then like we have so many more products than just oils. And so I was excited about that. So yeah, I just kind of dove right in, and but really the emotional support aspect with, trying to be compliant here was what brought me to oils.
Yeah. So you basically, when you kind of were looking at the oils, researching them, you basically just like jumped into starting to sell oils.
Yeah.
That you weren't really using oils beforehand?
Yeah, no, I mean, I had never used essential oils before I got my starter kit and was like, these work. And I was kind of, I mean, the team I was on was brand new as well. I think like my enroller had signed up like the month before. So we were kind of all doing this together. It wasn't like someone had just paved the way. I mean, someone had, but like I didn't have a relationship with that person. And so I think the very first like mentorship or training that my enroller and my sponsor had was like the first one I was in with some like cross-line people, and we were all just figuring this out. I mean, it's so funny. Like now, like it's not funny, it's amazing, but now like almost all of them are diamonds and above within our company. So I mean, my organization has been awesome and we've been really steady, but it kind of just goes to show like this business does work. So
Totally.
Yeah.
So what have been some of your like biggest ways that you have been able to grow your business? Like what have been some of your biggest tools?
I mean, personal testimonies, like that's really what gets people, you know. I can talk all day long about thieves and what it does and how amazing it is, but unless I relate it to a personal story, no one cares. So for me, it's the personal testimony, and that is different. I mean, that across the board, for me, mostly it's in person, one-on-ones with people, just chatting, just friends, people that know me, or people that I've like hosted classes for. I have events, a lot of events here in town. Always looking for new ways to meet people. And then I've done a lot. I've been growing my Instagram and like Facebook accounts this whole time. So I've been doing this. It's almost 5 years in September. Next month, it'll be 5 years. That's so crazy. So kind of all those avenues are ways that I've shared. But I know we'll kind of get into the scanner, which I have right here. I don't know. I can share, like, I've used this a lot, and this is a great tool to actually get people like to your events because they like really want to get scanned. And so this tool like really works for that reason. And I mean, it works in general for scanning purposes. We can talk later, but yeah, I mean, personal testimonies really are my go-to. And that's just kind of what I teach people. It's not about like the information, because at the end of the day, no one cares like why thieves works like it does. It's like, how is it going to help them? So,
right. The emotional attachment that you feel to something is a lot more powerful than just like, here's some information.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Well, okay. So since you brought up the iTOVi as a tool for you to help people get interested in going to parties, or just maybe a good way to like segue into helping like maybe like a non-believer or whatever, whatever you want to call them. Because I do think that it's a tool to help almost like give you that belief, because a lot of times you scan people and they're like, oh, how did it know that? Like, so anyway, I'm just curious to hear how you heard about iTOVi, what your first impressions were, and kind of just everything about how you use it and all of that.
Yeah. So I guess I heard about the scanner 2 years ago, maybe 2.5 years ago, no more than 3. And back when it looked a little different than this, it was like more rectangle. And it was because several of my friends had been influencers for you guys and were posting about it. And I was like, oh my gosh, I got to know about this scanner. So there's another scanner out there that I had been scanned by like before. And I thought that was super cool. I was like, how does it know? But this thing is like so tiny, like it's so easy. It's like wireless. And so I was super interested. So I got one and I was kind of skeptical. I was like, how does this thing work? Like, but I'm not super scientific anyway. Like I was skeptical for like a hot minute, but I am not one to like really question like all the science behind it. I just like trust what you tell me. So when they say that it works like a Fitbit or an Apple Watch, I'm like, okay, that's the perfect analogy. So that's what I tell people if they're skeptical. I'm like, how does something know you took this many steps or whatever? Like, how does it know your heart? You know, like, so when I did it for the first time, it was like so spot on to the symptoms I had. Like I always had like digestive issues, and it would always say like fennel or digest or something. So that was like amazing. So when I got it, like I immediately was like, I've got to scan people. So I've done a couple things. Like one event here was called Sip and Scan. And we just like, I brought this to a bar, or not a bar. It was a coffee shop / bar, beer garden kind of thing. And it was like men and women. And we just like, I just scanned everyone. Like it was so fun. I remember I had it one time at like a pizza party that some friends and I were having, but it wasn't like I just had this with me. So I was like, I'll just pull it out and scan people. And it was so spot on for like somebody that was a smoker, scanned for black pepper, which that's like something that's supposed to help stop smoking. And it's really funny when it scans you for like last night, I did a Facebook Live on my personal feed and I scanned for Common Sense essential oil. I'm like, oh my gosh. Like, it's funny when it scans you for like these blends that we have.
Yes. I have one question about the parties. So do you offer scans before or after party classes? Do you charge them for or offer as a gift?
Yeah. So I do not charge for scans. I just feel like the money that I'm making is going to be made through like the oils. And I really want people to learn like how the oils can help them. So for me, I personally don't feel like charging for a scan is really, I think that I'm going to get more people scanned and more people interested in oils if I don't charge for a scan. So I don't. And typically I've always scanned during an event. And that, with that being said, I haven't ever had an event that's had like more than maybe 10 with the scanner. So I think that if I had more than 10, it would be a good idea to do it like after. But yeah, I usually just do it right then and there, and it's really easy. Like, it's not like everyone has to be quiet, like you just like get with that one person, or they pass it around and you're just like operating your phone. It's really pretty simple.
Yeah. She just says, totally agree about the free scan. Was just curious what you do.
And I don't think it's wrong to charge. I personally don't.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Let's see. And then I offer a free scan for everyone who comes to an event or party. So I think it's a good way to just get people kind of in the door. Mm-hmm. And I think that there's a good place and time for maybe charging for a scan. But if you're hosting a party, kind of similar to what you're talking about, I think a free scan is just a great way to people to come and get excited.
I think charging at like a vendor event might be something I would do, because it's not like you can scan every single person that walks by your table. So something like that would probably be more where I would target.
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
Yeah.
We've actually had a lot of people in the past asking a lot of questions about doing like a sip and scan or whatever you want to name your party. But sip and scan is definitely a cute one, and who doesn't love an alliteration? But basically, some people were curious, like, how do you handle like a larger group if, say, you have, you have like some food, you've got a table for scans, and you've got a couple other little activities, but you have like a lot of people trying to get a scan at one time. Like, how would you handle something like that?
I mean, like I said before, so I'm just thinking back to the last event I actually scanned at. So I was in Portland, Oregon, before I went on a cruise, and one of my gals lives there. So we hosted, sorry, my phone just fell. I have the live video going on my phone. So we hosted a party, and it was, her parents came and her parents' friends. And so it was like very wide, diverse age range. And we literally were just all sitting in a circle. There were probably 8 or so people. And it was just like a conversation, and everyone wanted to be scanned, but everyone just kind of went about their business. And I just like personally like went to that person, and they entered their info on my phone. And then I would sit back down, and then we would just kind of talk about it while everyone else was just mingling. So it was, or not mingling, just kind of sitting there chatting. But it was like we were almost able to do it while, I'm so sorry, we were able to scan while we were actually having like a social conversation. So I also think that something that would be really helpful is to have a second person. So if you're hosting with a friend, like having your friend scan, and maybe you teach a class while people are getting scanned, so they can kind of go in and out. Like one person gets scanned, then they come back. And so you can kind of do 2 things at once. So those are just kind of my tips, but it's not really a process that has to be super like take a long time. And plus it only takes like a minute or so for a scan. I mean, for the scan itself. And then you want to like talk about the products.
Yeah, exactly. So I kind of want to go back to what you were talking about earlier about like testimonials and things. I'm curious if you have some interesting reactions after a scan has been made. Like any, like we've had some people tell me about times where they scanned somebody and they just were like burst into tears because they just went through a big trauma in their life, and it was like the scanner could like pick up on all these things that they that were happening to them. So I'm curious if that's ever happened to you, or like what are some stories that you have about using the scanner and people have been like, oh my gosh, what? How did you know?
I know. Fortunately, I've never had anyone that has gotten like upset or emotional or been like turned off by it or anything like that. But typically people are very shocked at how accurate the scan is. And like I said, some of our emotional blends are like, if you scan for like hope, like I've had my boyfriend had scanned for hope, and somebody else, I mean, like I said, I scanned for common sense. There's some that you might find that are kind of, what's the word? Not degrading, but I don't know the right word, but it's like funny. And so they're kind of like, what does that mean? But the cool thing about the report is that, and I think you said we're going to do live scan, but it tells you exactly what the oil does. Mm-hmm. So you don't have to be an expert and know every single oil and every single ingredient. Like it's right there on the report. And so, that's what I love like about that. But yeah, I've never had anyone that's been like super, I don't know. It's never been very dramatic.
Right. It's just been like more so like
surprised and like, but it's usually really spot on.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's really cool. Yeah. So what I thought that we could do is, we have a question. From Terry, how and when do you follow up after the scan? I think that's a really good question, and obviously something as far as like a business builder, you definitely want to make sure that you're following up after a scan, especially since you do gather people's information. So Megan, I think that you'd have some really good insight on how you do your follow-up.
Yeah, so follow-up is huge for me. I mean, anytime I'm sharing about oils with people, I follow up because people need to hear things like 7 times before they actually like make a decision. Of course, I don't bother them that bad, so bad that they're turned off. But what I love about the iTOVi is that you have to input your email address to be scanned. So I have like all these emails, which I'm just now thinking, okay, I actually need to go back and message these people from Portland in June, which I didn't follow up with them because we had convention and all this. But I just follow up via email and I say like, did you read your report? And you can even resend reports to people. You can say, I can resend it if you need. What were your thoughts? Is there anything I can answer? And maybe if like they scan for one of my favorite oils, I'll, say that in the email, like this is one of my favorite oils. So, yeah, it's cool that you have their email and you can just follow up right then and there and you can kind of see what they scanned for and make it like a personal interaction with them. So that's what I do. And if I don't hear from them, like there's been times when like I don't hear from anybody, but hear from them, then I'll, follow up a second or third time. After that, like I'm gonna, leave it to rest. But hopefully, they'll reach out if they want.
Yeah, and something that's cool about the app update that's coming out in a couple of weeks, as far as follow-up goes, whoever you scan is going to have to download the app as well. So when they get their scan report, they will actually it'll just make follow-up a lot easier. And you can, at the bottom of the report, it'll show your like business card almost. So you can put whatever information you want in there, whether it's your Facebook, Instagram, your name, number, email, whatever you want to put in there. You can have all of that in there. So they have your contact information and you have theirs. So it makes follow-up way easier. So hopefully
they will have to have the app to be scanned.
Yeah. So instead of getting, so we're not going to have the web report anymore. And so that way it like basically forces them to have to download the app and then, yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, it'll be cool. And we'll be doing lots of demos and everything like that when it comes out. So don't worry if all of you guys are like, wait, how do you do this? How do you do that? Don't worry. I'm going to post a webinar of trainings and all of that. So don't worry. Okay, so I don't think we have any questions, but Jenny does have a comment. Great idea to have 2 people so you can scan as the other one teaches. And I think that that's another good call out to have another person just to help you with follow-up as well.
Yeah, for sure. Because for the most part, at this point in my business, I'm really like helping other people grow. Like, I mean, that's helping me grow, but I typically am always hosting with like one of my leaders. And so like them helping to follow up, it's only going to benefit them as well.
Right.
These people would be like part of their downline eventually.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I thought it'd be really fun for us to do a live scan.
Mm-hmm.
And that way you can kind of talk about how to kind of talk about the scan. We've gotten a lot of questions about people not exactly sure how to talk about the results after. So I thought that'd be a great way for you to be able to talk about that. And so I'm going to I'm just getting my scan.
I'm not going to be able to see your report, so.
I'll tell you what I have.
Okay.
I'll tell you.
But still, like
you want to scan yourself.
You can read the little. It's okay.
Okay. Unless do you want to scan yourself and then we can do yours?
No, it's fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's do this.
Well, let me just grab a resource while you scan.
Okay, cool. Let me get this ready. Okay, guys. So, myself in. I'm doing 7 oils, all products, And I'm going to start my scan. So I basically hold it so we've got 2 silver sensors, one right here, and then one is actually on my, it's telling us about the iTOVi right now. Hold on. Let me just turn this down really quick.
Oh, does it?
I have the beta app. Oh, there.
Yeah. Okay. Got it.
So this is actually the app that's coming out soon.
Okay.
So that's what it looks like as you're scanning. That's what it will look like, actually.
So while you're scanning, I was going to say a couple of good resources to have are either the pocket reference or the desk reference of the essential oil reference guide. And that way, like, you can look up the oils in here because it will tell you even more details than the scan will.
Yeah.
So you don't have to be an expert. Like, you can.
And what I was going to say is in the app that's coming out, part of that will be an expanded report with all of that stuff. So really excited about that. So you won't even have to bring your book around with you. You'll just have it all on your phone.
Nice. I like to have it just so people can look at it at my events.
There's something about a book too, but
yeah,
if you're ever on the go, it's a good thing.
Exactly.
Okay, so scan. Now it says go to report.
Awesome.
Okay, so so then it does give you the option to auto email reports, automatically email a copy of a scan report to clients when a scan is complete. This option can be changed later. So that just was a little pop-up. So just so you guys know, you can email them too, because I know that somebody asked about that. No app. What if the person doesn't want to download the app? Not everyone has space in their phone. So you can still get it. You can still get it emailed. It just won't be like an expanded report. And you'll see what I mean when we do all the trainings. So don't worry, there's more information to come on that. Let's see, we won't have to pay to get upgraded to the app, right? There is, sorry, just one more question about the app. But we're gonna be talking all about the app in the next couple weeks coming up. So we will be answering all those questions. But for this, we won't have the premium content. There is going to be premium content, and that's going to be more of the emotion side. But it's you do get some of that content. But yeah, we'll go in more detail in a whole training webinar on all of that later on. So don't worry. Okay, so I'm going to show you what I got. I got Inspiring Blend. Let's see if you can see that. Inspiring Blends.
Did you choose Young Living?
Oh, shoot. Actually, yeah, I need to figure out.
We don't have one called, we don't have that, or we don't have Spikenard either.
Okay, let me see if I can change my. I did this on my first day, so I started back in May. And
oh, good. We can, I mean, you can still use it, and we can do the ones. We do have one called Inspiration.
Okay, let's do that. I'm not even sure how to change it to a different.
I think it's like probably in the settings of the whole like app, but it's okay.
Okay. So,
I mean, we do have one called Inspiration. I'm assuming that will be the same thing.
Okay. Yeah, Inspiration.
So like what I would do, I mean, like I would kind of read through them. What I think it'll tell you what the ingredients are in that, and kind of go over like, I just kind of look at the report and like talk about it with them. And then, I mean, since I'm not real familiar with like that one, but I can look here. I would just kind of look it up and here are the blends. Okay. So hold on.
I can tell you what it says in here.
Okay, cool.
The Inspiring Blend is a passion-inducing blend of essential oils that combine cinnamon, ginger, clove, cardamom, jasmine, sandalwood, and vanilla bean. This proprietary blend combination is thought to break down walls of fear and help you to feel more confident and daring.
Oh, awesome. Yeah, cool. So yeah, that's kind of the exact same as this. It's like a few different ingredients, but and I would say this, like, typically, I mean, this one would be for diffusing or topical use. Usually the emotional oils they're not really for ingestion. So I will tell them, you can put, like, before this, where did my Valor go? I had some Valor before this broadcast. I put some Valor on and just breathed it in, like took some deep breaths. So you do that, or you can diffuse the Inspiring Blend.
I love that.
Yeah.
Do you guys have cassia or sandalwood, green mandarin?
We have cassia and sandalwood.
Okay.
Cassia is one of the, I know that it's an oil from the Bible. So it's actually one of the oils in our, like 12 oils of ancient scripture, or 10 oils of ancient scripture set. So yeah. But it has a really strong, it smells very, like cinnamony almost.
Okay. Yeah, this one says it has an uplifting, warming aroma. So cinnamon.
Yep.
Definitely has like a warming aroma that helps create a soothing environment.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And yeah, I mean, that's kind of everything it says here. And there's like a ton of like Bible references to cassia. And then this book will also tell you what it's found in. So like one of our supplements has cassia in it. So that might also be like a good something to recommend as well.
Got it.
Yeah.
So basically you scan somebody, they show you your report. You always bring out your book.
I don't bring my book, but we'll have the report, that I can see, and we'll talk about like what's in it, just kind of show them like right there, empower them. Like here's the report. You can click on each one, see what's in it. And then I like share like maybe how I use that oil.
I like that.
Use it. Like I don't use cassia a lot, but I think it smells really great and definitely has a warming smell. Like it would be really good, like in for the fall to diffuse.
Oh yeah, that would be really good for the fall. So kind of
like, gosh, put it in a roller and roll it on,
Yeah. So keep people good tips, like why it may have come up, and then good tips on how to use it. And then that's basically kind of how you talk about the report after it's over, is kind of what you do essentially.
Yeah. Or how I would recommend that they do it, especially if they're not familiar with using oils.
Got it. No, I love that. Well, I think that having a tool like iTOVi and you being able to share it with other people and show the results is definitely a way for people to kind of just put that belief in oils and have like some additional science kind of behind it. Mm-hmm. And I'm just really excited that you came on with us today, and I really appreciate you coming on with us and kind of sharing your story. But unless you guys have any other questions, we did have one more question. Did you say the report iTOVi provides is being expanded? Yes, it is being expanded, and starting on August 19th, you guys can join a webinar on next week on the 12th. You guys can pre-register for a training webinar on the new app. So make sure we're going to be posting that on the 12th. So make sure that you sign up for that. You look for that and you sign up for that. And you'll get all of your questions answered, hopefully, with the training webinar. If not, we're going to be doing trainings the entire week that the app is released. So, so stay tuned. Thanks, Terry. Okay, so anyways, unless you guys have any other questions, I'm going to wrap this up with Megan. We are so happy that you came on with us today live and did a little scan with us. Don't forget about our giveaway that we're doing with the Modern Oil Co. Make sure you tag them in the comments below in every one of our videos this month for your chance to win a $150 gift basket with her. And make sure you tag a friend that would want to win as well. And we will see you guys next week, where I'm going to have Matt Gardner on, and he's going to be talking to you guys about our referral program. We've been getting a lot of questions about that. We have a really awesome referral program this month of August. You guys get free. If somebody uses your referral code, you still get your referral bonus. But then they also get $10 off their purchase. Plus, they have access to the Choice Plus plan. Plus, they get free shipping if they're in the United States, or they get a discount shipping price if they're international. So with that, thanks so much, Megan.
Thank you.
And yeah, it was really fun. And thanks for telling me about my results today.
Sure thing.
Yeah. And we will see the rest of you guys next week.
All right. Thanks.
Yeah. Thanks, guys.
Bye.
Bye.